Hey, what's up, guys? Mad Scientist 7890 back here again with another edition of In the Lab. Um, with this, I want to talk about, I think a big part of a guy's getting over in wrestling, like I said in my wrestling ability versus mic skills video, I think, you have to have wrestling ability. I think that's one thing. The payoff is the match. But I do think that in wrestling, you do have to, somewhere down the line, have to have some gimmick, whether it's moderate or whether it's really good. And when it's a really bad gimmick, I feel like even if the wrestling's good, it just kind of makes you look bad as a total. So here's what I'm gonna do. I have basically have a list of, this is my personal opinion, of currently gimmicks that I think are failing and gimmicks that I think are succeeding right now in most of wrestling, mainstream wrestling, and ROH as well. And so but first I'm going to start with the ones that I think are failing, and what I'm doing, I'm just going to list them off, and then I'm going to go through them and go more into detail on why I think they're failing and stuff. I got Immortal, not just not everyone in Immortal, just kind of the whole concept of Immortal I think is bad. Face Randy Orton, Robbie E, Mexican America, Drew McIntyre, the New Nexus, Mr. Anderson, Sin Cara, Heath Slater, and Samoa Joe. Now, with Immortal, to me, it kind of just looks like just a group of just like superhero villains who are like just 15 years past their prime, just on meth. That's pretty much what it looks like. It's horrible. Just everything about it is horrible. The concept of taking something like Hulk Hogan, the immortal thing of Hulk Hogan, creating a faction has nothing to do with him really, except for it just being heel. And then also I think the name for Fortune being like the Four Horsemen, I thought they could have come up with a better name for that as well. But I don't really think that faction as a whole is that bad. I don't think the concept of that is that bad either. But Immortal, I think, is really bad. I think the whole concept of that is bad. I think if they could just get rid of a couple guys, maybe get a couple new guys, make it look a little bit formidable. But none of these guys mesh together well. They just look just stupid together, just standing next to each other, and that's just bad to me. Next is Face Randy Orton. The reason, I've always been a fan of just Randy Orton as a heel. I feel like his gimmick right now, he's a heel struggling to be a face. And it just doesn't come over real well. I think he really just wants to convert back to just being just a complete, a-hole as a character, as heel, or sadistic or crazy, or, the character that he was playing, the cocky heel. And, it just doesn't come over as a face very well, but the fans really like him, so, I just don't know. To me, I just don't think it's working. I think it's really cheesy, and I just don't think, like I said, I think he's a heel struggling to be a face. That's what I feel like with that. Robbie E, basically with this, just a complete 100% rip-off of Jersey Shore. A lot of people who watch wrestling don't really care about Jersey Shore, so that's why that's failing. That's all I'm going to say about that. Mexican America. Now, here's the problem with Mexican America. I like 3/4 of this faction. The only thing I do not like about this faction that I think is just not working is Anarquia. I think Anarquia, to me, in this gimmick, he's a Spanish or a Mexican person pretending or acting, like a fake Mexican person. It's so over-exaggerated and just cheesy, and orale, blah blah. It just sounds so fake, and it just sounds like when he's backstage with Hernandez. That was a good promo, man, guys. I think we did a really good job right there. I think I could have done it a little bit more cheesier. I feel like he's just acting really badly. That's what I think that sucks. Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre has a lot of talent, but I think the problem with Drew McIntyre is I don't think it always works for people when they're just from another country to be like, well, his gimmick is he's from Scotland, so his gimmick's gonna just be the Scottish guy. Vladimir Kozlov, he's from Russia. He's gonna be the Russian guy. That's his gimmick. You know, I think Sheamus is doing a good job of portraying, you know, an Irish guy, and I think he's doing a pretty good job of that right now. But it doesn't work for everybody. I just don't think his gimmick is working. I don't think he's cheered or booed. I just don't think people really care about him that much. And I don't get me wrong, I think he has ability in the ring. I think that's a problem. I just really think he needs a different gimmick to get over, to be honest with you. The new Nexus. You know, this was just a rehash of the regular Nexus with just a bunch of guys missing, a new guy thrown there with Mason Ryan, and then CM Punk as the leader. You know, best thing about this whole thing was CM Punk. You know, let's revamp this with CM Punk and try to see if it works. And I really just don't think it worked. I don't think it worked at all. I think the segments with Punk when he was doing his stuff, I think were great. I think it was fun, but everything below him and all the other guys, I just don't think just was any good at all. I don't think the gimmick worked, and I think that's pretty much why they're not doing it now. I think Punk's doing his own thing, and I think it's just not working. Mr. Anderson. Now, I don't have a problem with the asshole gimmick. I think him portraying an asshole and saying he's an asshole, and I think that's okay. I think that's an okay gimmick, and I think that works. What I don't like is his over-exaggerated, you know, like trying to act like a comedian and just really just acting just super cheesy, and it just doesn't work for me. And, you know, just wearing the camouflage hats and just chewing gum, and it looks like he just walked to the ring from like fly fishing and hunting with Shawn Michaels. I don't know what he was doing. I just think him. I think him. Just some people just. I think when they act themselves as a wrestler, they're good, but sometimes when they act themselves, they're bad. And I think he acts himself, and I just don't buy it. I think he's really just a really bad comedian. So that's what I think about that. Sin Cara. Now, I don't think Sin Cara, his gimmick is really failing. I think it's not living up to the standards of what WWE wanted it to be, basically. You know, the hype coming in, him, you know, people knowing that he was one of the best Mexican wrestlers of all time, you know, in Mystico, and what he was doing at the, you know, the time that he was doing stuff, and, you know, pretty much just kind of not living up to the hype. I think, you know, he hasn't adjusted to the WWE style. He hasn't really lived up to what he should. And, you know, I think it's failing, and I think hasn't failed. I think there's stuff that they can do with this and fix it. I think he needs time to adjust. You know, like I said, learn some English, work with the other guys better. I think that's really what's hurting him. But I think the gimmick, you know, is currently failing, and I don't think the American fans care that much, or care as much as WWE would like them to care. That's pretty much why I think that's failing. Heath Slater, just a rip off of just bad. Just Heath Slater's pretty much just a rip off of like just Edge and just like John Morrison and just like doing the Rock thing, and I just don't buy it. And don't get me wrong, I think he has some ability. I just don't like the one-man rock band gimmick. I think it's very cheesy. I think if you're into a rock band, I think it should be more of like a tag team. I don't think you should be the one guy, one rock man guy. Yeah, I'm awesome. No, I don't think it works. I think that sucks. So, and then Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, this one really hurts me because, you know, I'm a huge Samoa Joe fan. I really like Samoa Joe. I think he has a series of failed gimmicks here recently. You know, with his Nation of Violence and all the stuff he was doing, just let the guy just be Samoa Joe. That's the thing with him. I think just act crazy, just have good matches. I think sometimes, you know, guys like Dan Bryan don't really need that much of a gimmick. They can get over just with their ability in the ring, and sometimes gimmicks don't need to be. And I think the problem with him is, I think they're trying to come up with something that will work with him when they don't need to come up with anything. Just let him do what he wants to do and just be Samoa Joe. And put him in the ring and let him wrestle. That's all I want. Come on, guys. That's all we want. I don't care if he has a gimmick at all. Just let him be Samoa Joe. So those are my fails right now. Let me know what you guys think. If there's some other ones, or if you think they're not failing, or whatever. I'm gonna go with some successes now. R-Truth. Never liked R-Truth. Like R-Truth now. I think this is the best he's ever been in his career. It's crazy to say that because you know, so late in his career, but I think this is really working with him, the little Jimmy thing, the conspiracy, and all that stuff. So I think that's a really good gimmick, and I hope they can continue to do it and try to put him in somewhere in the middle, you know, of mid-card feuds and stuff, and work with him. I think he's entertaining, so I would continue to do that gimmick. CM Punk. Obvious. Don't even need to say anything else. Everything about him, obvious. Gimmick is fabulous. Beer Money. Beer Money, I think, I don't think they're the best tag team in the world. I think the Kings of Wrestling are the best tag team in the world. But I think Beer Money has the best gimmick in the world for a tag team. And I think they act themselves. I think the characters they play are pretty much close to how they act in real life, and I think it works well, and the fans love it. So I think they should just continue to do that, and if they split them up, that's fine. I think it's coming here soon anyway. But I really like Beer Money as a tag team, and I really think they're, in my personal opinion, the best tag team in TNA's history. So that's what I'm gonna go with that, and gimmick-wise. Zack Ryder, obvious as well. Internet, YouTube, he's on the same thing I'm on right now, doing videos, getting major hits, being used now, and I think that's fabulous. I think he kind of ripped off a Jersey Shore gimmick, but I think he was original with it. I think he got some originality out of it, came up with his own stuff, did his own stuff. I don't think it was a complete rip-off of a Jersey Shore gimmick. I think he did his own thing, so I think that gimmick's really good, and I think it's working. The Miz, another pretty good obvious one. Now, the most must-see champion ever, most must-see wrestler, whatever he's going by now. Gimmick's just good. The guy's just good on the mic. Just plays that just cheap pop heel. Everyone, he comes out, rips on the sports teams, and plays that heel, just everyone loves to hate. And I think that's a good gimmick, and I think it works really well for him. The Pope D'Angelo Dinero. I think this is a gimmick that is succeeding, but I don't think TNA sees this. I don't think he should be having matches with Devon. I don't think they should be doing this and doing that. I think he should be higher up the card. I think he should be more in the main event picture. I think his gimmick's good. I think he should be face, and I think he should just get over. I don't see why TNA doesn't see the character, that how good he is. I just don't get it. Kings of Wrestling, obviously good tag team, heel, but everyone likes them. Just when you mix, just being just awesome and cool. These guys are just the coolest guys ever. They look the part, they wrestle the part, they talk, they're good. That's the gimmick. I mean, the Kings, they're the Kings of Wrestling. That's how good they are. El Generico. What can you say about this guy? The generic luchador. I feel like his popularity should be like what Sin Cara's popularity should be. But El Generico, I think, is one of those guys I never feel like will ever be heel. I don't think it'll happen. I just don't think it'll happen. And I think everyone loves El Generico. I just don't think fans can get behind it and just be like, I hate El Generico. His gimmick is so good. Just ability, everything. The guy is just awesome, and I think his gimmick's really well. Austin Aries, doing his gimmick from Ring of Honor, and the A-double gimmick, and I thought that was great. I was like, man, if this ever got on television and people saw how good this was, he would blow up. And, he's in TNA. He's being used in TNA, the X Division. I think he'll win that title soon. And I think this gimmick's great. I think him just playing this complete a-hole gimmick that he's doing, and just, clever, promos, and just acting like a complete ass. And I think it's really good, and I think the heel aspect of it is good, and I think the in-ring work is good, and I think it's just completely good. I think, to me, he's the total package TNA right now, and I know he's not going to be a main event scene type guy, but I think that he should be used and used correctly, and I think right now, I think he's being used good right now, but I think he eventually should move up the card a little bit more at least. And then Alberto Del Rio is the final person that I think's gimmick is succeeding. Coming in, I thought this was really good. He slowed down a little bit, but it keeps picking up and going back down. I think WWE just can't pull the trigger on giving this guy the title yet. I think he's good. I think his gimmick's good. I think the scarf idea is good. I think it's good. I think everything about his gimmick's good. The car, the ring announcer, just everything about his gimmick is good. The pyro, it's Destiny, and all his punchlines and all that stuff. They're just good. So that's what I got for gimmicks. These are the ones I think are succeeding right now and doing well. Let me know, like I said, if you got some that you think are failing, you got some that you think are succeeding, you think I'm wrong about some. This is my personal opinion. I just want to hear what you guys think as well. Leave some comments down here in the box below, and let me know what you guys think. And also, here soon, I think I'm going to start doing a couple funny videos, funny wrestling related videos, some ideas I've had for a while. So look forward to those, and thanks guys, and subscribe. Thanks.